Alright, manhwa hunters. Today, we're checking out a brand new series that currently has only 3 chapters released. So if you enjoy discovering hidden gems before everyone else, you might want to stay for this one. It starts with sparks flying in what looks like the ruins of a Tokyo that no longer belongs entirely to this world. Kazuki Kuroi, level 10 job, none, is already losing. He swings his sword with everything he has, frustration written all over his face as he mutters that he can't land a single hit. And honestly, for someone with literally no job class, this tracks. The man's entire character sheet is just vibes and determination. Tatsuya Morishige, level 30 job heavy warrior, catches Kazuki's strike almost lazily, snapping back that he left himself wide open. Before Kazuki can even process that critique, Tatsuya's counterattack sends him crashing to the ground, his sword clattering beside him like it also gave up. Tatsuya stands over him, laughing. You're still no match for me. Kazuki doesn't argue. Flat on his back, weapon out of his hand, he admits the only thing he can. Lost again. The audacity of a main character, truly. Tatsuya doesn't let him wallow for long. Kazuki's on supply run duty today. Right on cue, a voice cuts through from nearby. Oniai-chan! Akina Kuroi, level 1, job, none, professional little sister, is perched nearby with the energy of someone who absolutely did not come here to stress about the outcome. She teases her brother without mercy, suggesting he try looking cool for once. Then, in the same breath, she says she wants to see him win at least once, and somehow that lands both as genuine and as the most devastating sibling burn possible. Kazuki pushes back, pointing out that their uncle was a frontline player, and he just can't beat him. Akina counters, isn't Kazuki supposed to be the highest level one among them? He gives the most defeated. Yeah. Possible. He's always the one getting beaten up, and the siblings fall into step together through the settlement. Then Akina reaches out and takes his hand. She tells him it might just be a normal supply run, but to make sure he comes back safe. Kazuki looks at her, really looks at her, and for just a moment, the exhaustion on his face gives way to something softer. Akina. She smiles up at him. You're my only blood relative. Of course I'm going to worry. And then, because she is absolutely that kind of little sister, the smile flips into a grin, and she cheerfully reminds him not to forget to bring back a souvenir. The emotional moment, destroyed in 3 seconds flat. Kazuki absolutely loses it. You're way too casual about this. He leaves. The world beyond the settlement tells you everything you need to know about why this place even exists. 8 years ago, something catastrophic happened. The coordinates of Tokyo's 23 wards overlapped with an otherworldly dimension called Hellverse. 2 worlds merged, and what was born from that collision was the Tokyo Makai. Reality cracked open like a wound, buildings swallowed by a blood-red rift that split the sky apart. And through that rift came the monsters. They ran wild. They attacked without warning or mercy. Cities burned. The Kuroi siblings' parents were among those who didn't survive. In that chaos, a younger Kazuki held a child-sized Akina close and prayed to anything that would listen, at least save Akina. A massive creature loomed over them, jaws wide open, close enough that survival seemed like a statistical impossibility. They were supposed to die right there. They didn't. Someone arrived, a man with a blade and the power to match it, cutting through what should have been an inescapable end. Because the layered disaster didn't just bring monsters through that rift. It also brought something else into this world, the players. Players are humans who can manifest superhuman powers within the Tokyo Makai. They have status values, levels, jobs, and some possess special abilities that function exactly like skills in a game. Basically, Ice-Sky rules applied to the real world, except nobody asked for it, and the tutorial was a monster apocalypse. The players were what stood between humanity and total annihilation. The monsters were eventually suppressed, and now the Tokyo Makai has become something unexpected, home. A refuge for outcasts with nowhere else to go, and for those who've awakened to abilities they never had before. Kazuki moves through the settlement, carrying supplies, carrying the memory of everything. If it wasn't for Uncle Tatsuya, either he nor Akina would be here at all. He technically qualifies as a player too, but looking at that truth honestly, he can only land on one conclusion: he's still so weak. He has to get stronger. He has to protect Akina. The supply run itself wraps up without incident. He even splurges a little. It's almost Akina's birthday, and he picks up a red gemstone pendant on a silver chain that catches the light of the dying sun beautifully. He heads back as the sky shifts to dusk, the crescent moon rising over what remains of the Tokyo skyline. Then he hears it. That shouldn't be the sound of a fight. He stops. Through the trees, he spots a group of men, and at the center of it, his uncle. Tatsuya is mid-brawl, outnumbered, trading blows with several opponents who are clearly not holding back. One of the attackers takes a hit that would hospitalize a normal person and barely flinches, laughing as he taunts the former A-rank player, asking if a legend really has nothing more than that. Tatsuya's answer is flat and final. He's retired. That player doesn't exist anymore. The attackers push harder. One of them absorbs punishment that would delete most players and barely staggers. Tatsuya takes a bad hit, and for the first time, his footing actually shifts. Kazuki's chest tightens. His uncle is in danger. And the brutal reality crashes down immediately after. What can someone like him even do here? He finds Akina first. She'd been hiding just out of sight, exactly where Tatsuya told her to stay. She's scared but unhurt. He pulls her close, and for a moment the two of them crouch together in the dark, watching the battle unfold. The fighting is fierce, blades and raw power clashing loud enough to rattle the air around them. The attackers aren't here randomly. Their leader is making a move to seize control of this entire district, and he wanted Tatsuya, a name that still carries enough weight to matter, to serve under him. To be used as a human shield for someone called the Great Show. Tatsuya refused. He told them plainly, he has things to do. The leader's patience, apparently, has a limit. He erupts. His power shifts into a completely different gear. An enormous burst of energy tears through the air, and Akina is directly in its path. Kazuki throws himself over her. They survive. But they've been spotted. The leader pauses and orders his subordinate, a pale, masked fighter with glowing blue sigils materializing around his hands, to drag them out. Kazuki puts himself between Akina and all of it. He has no cards. So he plays the only one available. He stands up, raises both hands, and asks them to spare their lives. He already knows what he's doing. Tatsuya shouts his name. Kazuki, run! The masked subordinate intercepts him before he can move. The leader studies Kazuki for a moment, then smiles. He proposes a game, because apparently powerful villains in this world have the same energy as the final boss, offering the hero one last chance before the credits roll. He's annoyed that no one's landed a clean hit on him all night. So here's the deal, if Kazuki can withstand a single full power punch, he'll let the kid go free. Tatsuya, bleeding through his teeth, agrees. Then asks once, clearly, directly, you'll really let Kazuki go? The leader tells him to worry about himself first. His power floods outward. This is not the same fighter from 5 minutes ago. Tatsuya takes the hit. He absorbs it. Barely. A glowing wound opens on Tatsuya's chest where the impact hit. He drops. He doesn't get up. Kazuki is already beside him. The word uncle barely makes it out of his throat. Kazuki can't form sentences. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Because of me, uncle is. Tatsuya manages to look at him. Don't worry about it. Then, quieter. Kazuki, you don't need to become a player. Not in a place like this. Live in the outside world with Akina, and be happy. Across the way, the leader watches without a shred of interest. Should have just joined up like a good little boy. The leader notices the expression. Hey, brat. I don't like the way you're looking at me. Actually, I'm gonna kill you after all. No. You promised. He laughs. Like I'd ever keep a promise like that. His subordinate locks Kazuki in place. The leader winds up. It's over. Then, from the side, a scream that cuts through everything. Let go of my brother! Kazuki's eyes go wide. Every thought narrows down to one word. Akina! Akina came charging in with her hands still bleeding, screaming at them to let her brother go. The masked subordinate reacted instantly. He grabbed her and sent her crashing hard to the ground. She cried out as she hit the floor, and just like that, the situation went from catastrophic to something even uglier. Akina! The word tore out of Kazuki before he could think. The leader looked down at her crumpled on the ground and actually seemed pleased. Ha! Another brat, huh? He tilted his head with that same disgusting smile. Well, I thought it was just the guy. He reached down and grabbed Akina by her hair, yanking her up. But look what we found here. Kazuki lost it. Stop! Don't you touch my sister! The leader didn't even flinch. He just looked at Kazuki with the expression of someone who has never once been told no and found the whole thing entertaining. He said it plainly. If you want something in this world, you just take it. That's the law. And right now, he wanted to have a little fun. He pointed at Tatsuya, still collapsed and bleeding on the ground nearby. He's one of the weak, he said. And so is Kazuki. So while he entertained himself with Akina, all Kazuki could do was watch. Akina screamed for him to stop. His subordinates wrestled Kazuki down, pinning him as he thrashed and screamed her name over and over. Akina! His voice cracked. His body burned. And across from him, the leader laughed at the sight of it. Look at the small fry brother, screaming. Hilarious. Classic mid-boss energy. Talk big, hit soft, laugh like a Saturday morning cartoon villain. He told Akina to stop resisting. He hit her again, hard enough to send her flying, hard enough to make her scream. She hit the ground and went still. Hair spread out around her. Blood on her face. Eyes barely open. Big brother. The leader glanced over, mildly inconvenienced. Akina. Why? Why does this only happen to us? His mind pulled him back. Sudden violence took their parents from them when the worlds merged. But even through that, they had Uncle Tatsuya. They had each other. Their lives were hard, but they were alive. And then Uncle Tatsuya was killed, senselessly, pointlessly, and now they were going to take Akina too. Just because they had power. The image of the leader's face flashed through Kazuki's mind, grinning, tongue out, holding Akina like she was nothing. I hate them. The words weren't dramatic. They weren't a declaration. They were just the truth, surfacing from somewhere below grief and pain and helplessness. And I hate myself for being one of the weak. Everything. I hate it all. Something cracked open. The red energy came first, crackling around his body like lightning finding a new path. One of the enemies noticed it immediately. What? His strength is suddenly. Nobody moved in time. Speed Blitz activated. Kazuki was already up. He tore through two of them before they could react. Red slashes, clean and brutal, dropping them where they stood. The leader's expression shifted for the first time all night. Just slightly. Just enough. Kazuki turned to the leader. Eyes red. Voice completely flat. I'll kill you. The leader stared. Then, almost offended. What? Who does one of the weak think he's talking to? He launched himself forward, full power, the same overwhelming force he'd used to put Tatsuya down. His fist connected with Kazuki's guard. Kazuki didn't move. Kazuki drove forward and the impact that followed sent the leader crashing back with a scream that ripped through the night air. The scene cut wide. The courtyard. Bodies of the defeated men scattered across the ground. The crescent moon hanging overhead, completely unbothered by what just happened down below. Kazuki standing in the middle of it all, chest heaving, panting, the only one still standing. He gasped. Looked around. Then the only thing that mattered cut through everything else. Akina! But the leader wasn't done. Barely breathing, barely conscious, he somehow found the words. You bastard! Are you kidding? Because apparently nearly getting killed by the guy you had pinned 2 minutes ago is hard to accept. The red energy around Kazuki flared again. The leader looked at those eyes and, for the first time, understood that whatever this was, it wasn't stopping. And then, right in the middle of all of it, something happened that nobody expected. A system notification materialized in front of Kazuki. Green light. Clean interface. The kind of thing that belonged in a game. Conditions have been met. Player name, Kazuki Kuroi. Player level 10. Acquired extra job, Villain Slayer. Kazuki stared at it, green light reflecting off his face, wide eyes trying to process what he was seeing. The notification pulsed, and then something appeared. A figure materialized from within the light. Humanoid. Pale white, almost translucent, with a single circular eye at the center of its featureless face and a wide, unsettling grin that looked like it was carved rather than natural. It stood in the open courtyard under the crescent moon, arms spread slightly, digital static crackling around its body. Congratulations! Kazuki stared at it. Who is this guy? Where did he come from? The figure lit up with energy, practically vibrating with excitement. You've been chosen! Kazuki's response was the only reasonable one available to him. Huh? A beat. Then, more quietly. A monster is talking? The figure reacted immediately, and dramatically. Calling it a monster was apparently the worst possible thing Kazuki could have said, because the creature's expression shifted into full theatrical offense, sparks and energy crackling around it as it puffed up with indignation. Calling me a monster is so disrespectful. The smile came back, wider now, somehow more unnerving. I'm Peace Man. I'm the god of this world. Kazuki looked at this creature, this smiling, twitching, self-declared deity who had just materialized out of a game notification over a field of unconscious bodies, and delivered the most accurate assessment possible. A god? You look way too suspicious for that. Peace Man, unbothered, leaned in close. Hee, you don't believe me? The eye in the center of its face shifted. But you've already received my divine protection. The power you used to kill those people, Villain Slayer, I'm the one who gave it to you, you know? The image that accompanied those words made the claim hard to dismiss. A wide shot of the courtyard. Kazuki standing amid the fallen, red energy dissipating, Akina collapsed nearby, and Tatsuya still motionless in the blood-soaked earth. Whatever that power was, it had been real. Kazuki looked down at the notification still floating in front of him. The job window. Villain Slayer. Another system screen appeared, confirming it. Player name, Kazuki Kuroi. Player level, 10, extra job obtained, Villain Slayer. This thing claimed to be a god. And if that was even remotely true. If you're really a god. He stepped forward, voice cracking at the edges. Then save my sister! Peace Man crossed its arms. A pause. I am a god, so I'd love to grant your wish. But, the smile stayed. I can't manipulate human life and death. The words landed like a closed door. No way. Kazuki's eyes dropped immediately to Akina, still unconscious on the ground nearby. Then, what about Akina? Peace Man held up a finger. Now. Don't get so depressed. Listen to the rest. It gestured with characteristic dramatic flair. That old guy over there is already a goner. But the girl is only on the verge of fading away. The eye shifted. I can still do something about her. Kazuki's head snapped up. Really? I swear on my godhood. Then, before Kazuki could react to that whiplash. Please save her. She's my only sister. She's everything to me. Peace Man seemed to find the desperation charming. Well, let's see. It grinned. I'll do it if you do a little favor for me. No hesitation. Fine. I'll do anything. Peaceman's expression shifted into something that looked like exactly what it was, a deal being sealed. Okay then, it's a contract. A glowing hand extended outward. Golden and red light poured over Akina, not gentle, but decisive, like something being forcibly corrected. Her wounds, which had been severe enough to leave her motionless and fading, began to close. He rushed to her side as the light faded. Her wounds were gone. The bleeding had stopped entirely. Akina! Wake up! Answer me! He turned back toward Peaceman. Hey, she's really healed, right? Peaceman looked slightly offended. How rude! Then, cheerfully. You saw it yourself, didn't you? Her brains were leaning out of it. I put them right back where they belong. I'll even clean up the surrounding area as a bonus. True to its word, Peaceman raised one finger, and every one of the defeated men who still had a heartbeat was hit with a surge of that same crackling energy. Whatever it did, it cleared the immediate area with the casual thoroughness of someone tidying a room. Then Peaceman turned back to Kazuki, smile unwavering. Now it's my turn. You're going to do that favor for me, right? Kazuki met its gaze, the reality of what he'd agreed to fully settling in. Peaceman drifted closer, that too wide grin filling his field of vision. And what it said next reframed everything. I want you to kill villains as the Villain Slayer. Kazuki blinked. He pulled back slightly. Why would you want that? Peaceman tilted its head. I'm the god who created this world, you see. The cheerful tone didn't waver, but the content underneath it shifted entirely. But I left it alone for a while. And now it's crawling with pests like a bunch of maggots. A flash of something vast and dark behind the smile. But like I said before, I can't directly manipulate human life and death. The eye locked onto Kazuki with complete calm. So, as the agent of God, I want you to clean up the Tokyo Makai. I want you to keep killing them off. Just like you did earlier. The word hit Kazuki like ice water. You're telling me to become a murderer? Peaceman's expression didn't change. That's right. That is the Villain Slayer's mission, after all. What do you mean mission? Kazuki's voice cracked. I never asked for this. You're the one who chose me without my permission. There must be someone else who wouldn't care about killing people. Peaceman went quiet. Then, slowly. You're the one being selfish. The tone dropped, just slightly, but enough to feel it. That job, Villain Slayer, cannot be changed until the day you die. The smile returned immediately, but the words underneath it had teeth. A contract with God requires absolute obedience. Peaceman's eye fixed on him. If there's a breach of contract, her revival will be cancelled. Okay? Kazuki's expression froze. That girl over there will just die, with her brains leaking out. The full weight of it landed. Not just a job that couldn't be changed. Not just a mission he never chose. But a leash. A permanent one. With Akina's life attached to the other end. Peaceman smiled. So what'll it be? Kazuki looked at Akina. Barely awake. Breathing. He looked down at his hand. His gloved fist closed slowly. For Akina's sake. The final image burned onto the page. Kazuki in full Villain Slayer mode, red energy alive and violent around him, the darkness of the Tokyo Makai stretching behind him.